anything, you women
join IUIC.
You women are the reason we're in this shit. All right? Let's keep it real, man. Let's keep it real. That's what the scriptures say. That's what the scriptures. Yeah, the scriptures say of the beginning of
the woman
come the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. How you get around that, man? So just be quiet, all right? You should be lucky we even let you on our sites. Hey, there was a time we had the school in Bridgeport. Elder Pastor gave the order, man, no more women in the school. Women, they were bringing, and I don't have to tell you who they wanted to get with. Because women, hypergamy.
Yep.
All right? Right. Women always want the top guy.
Yeah.
So I don't have to tell you who they were trying to get with. All right? So Elder Pastor gave the order, no more women in the school. All right? And that's how we solved that problem.
And certain cats had a
problem. And there was half of the school left.
Half the school left.
The men.
Yeah.
And guess what? They try to do what we do, keep going out, but we're going to do our own thing.
Yeah.
You know what? They started arguing among each other, and they ain't dwindled down to nothing.
Because they gathered all the guys that got kicked out and tried to build something off of that.
It was mass confusion, man.
Yep. One of the reasons they got mad is because the pastor gave the order no more women. Right. So those guys were really simps. We had one dude, the dude almost flipped over a desk to salute a woman.
Oh, Lord.
He finally saw a woman in the school. Oh, God, a woman! Woo! He did a fucking somersault.
Shalom, sister.
Man, I hate niggas like you, man. Big ass simps, man. I can't stand a simp. Go ahead, bro. No, I'm telling you.
I don't know if y'all saw that video on Sarnetta. It's on the Black. He got Sarnetta TV, and he also got Black News 103 or 102. The latest video could have been a day or two ago, 4 days ago. It's entitled. What the hell is the title of? Former Hebrew Israelite becomes comedic. You saw the whole thing?
I was watching your video.
But you got it. I didn't put in the actual thing. But if you go to his page, Black News 102, and you watch that video, it's what 2.5 hours long, and pretty much the guy was a part of IUIC, and he pretty much tells it like it is, man. The shit that they do in the IUIC, and then come to find out that Napa, which is a chick, she said that she's always on Sarnetta. She's like a co-host or whatever. She said that she's originally from IUIC, and she was saying how she had a husband, but her husband didn't believe, and they basically said, if your husband don't believe, he got a certain amount of time, you got to cut him off, and you got to get with a righteous brother, which is clearly out of order. What kills that right there? There's one scripture. 1 Corinthians 7. Go right to it.
Okay. Around 13. Is it around 13? Around there. Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 13. And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him.
And it applies to men having unbelieving women and women having unbelieving husbands. That's somewhere in Peter. Calling him Lord. I went through it the other. Matter of fact, I did mention it in the video.
Yep. 1 Peter 3 and 7.
1 Peter 3 and 7. Start at 1. Start at 1.
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1. You could start a verse above that, Sakaran.
I'm not there yet.
No, I'm saying
because I can't tell y'all. If you got a woman that don't believe, you got to cut her off. That's going off because if you do that, she's gonna get with another man, and that's gonna cause her to commit adultery, and you pushed her into that adulterous act.
Yeah, man. These guys are destroying a lot of people.
So what they're doing over there, and I heard there's a lot of adultery going on in that school anyway. You got this one guy, he committed adultery with this sister, and they kicked him out. And then when the Day of Atonement came, he came back. He said, I did the Day of Atonement, I'm good. And then can I come back into school? They let him back in. When the law says put him to death.
Yeah. Oh, well, this guy denied.
Yeah, well,
what he did to the pocket. He didn't restore them good.
Well, the Apostle Paul made it clear. He said, if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. You ain't supposed to have no woman coming up in the church because what other brothers see, that's your rib, huh? That's your rib.
Well, we know that for a fact because that happened at at One West.
Yeah.
Remember Shabar's woman?
Yeah.
They were looking to get with him, man. And somehow they busted him down. And Lahab was behind that, man.
Yeah.
Okay, True, we're gonna bust you down. And since you such a low rank, you can't have that woman. Look, nigga, tell me I can't have a woman I'm dealing with. Right. And he should have fucking did something, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna tell any of you men, look, you can't deal with that woman. Then all of a sudden I'm dealing with the woman. A real man would do what he got to do.
Right.
Lose it, man. So this nigga, this motherfucker, he wound up killing himself years later, man.
Well, he was always weak. He was weak to women.
He was weak to women,
Capital
man.
S, brother. Yeah, that dude was super simple. Yeah, he was all, now his woman was very attractive. We called her Wonder Woman because she used to wear this tiara around her head. She looked like if she turned around, she turned into Wonder Woman. She was very attractive. But his mistake was bringing her among all these wolves, man. You don't do that. You don't do that. That's why the apostle...
And then the guy that got her, what's his name, one lawyer, he bugged the fuck out. And he said in the council, yeah, I got that woman, and I popped in the name of your house. I popped in the name of your house shot. Popped in the ass in the name of your house shot. He said that, man.
Then you had women at One West. One West became like a whorehouse.
Oh yeah, major whorehouse, man.
You had women.
That was the biggest whorehouse in Harlem.
Yeah. Yeah, you had women giving brothers STDs. One woman gave, I think it was 8 brothers an STD.
Oh yeah, I remember that chick. That's the chick that used to come to school with the short miniskirt with fringes on it. Well, that was the thing. Well, a lot of women did that. They used to come with miniskirts with fringes on it, and I was the only one that used to say, I said, what you doing up in here like that? I said, look, get out. Go home. I did that a couple of times, but none of them motherfuckers did that. None of them did that. Right. So the best way to be is not have any women around you when you're doing this work.
Right. Exactly. This thing is the flock of the Lord's cash is what?
Men. So where we at?
This is the book of 1 Peter 3:1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Read that again.
It says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey...
Whether he believes or don't believe.
That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. While they behold your chaste conversation...
While the men behold your chaste conversation.
Right.
In other words, you acting righteous, you call him Lord.
Yep.
You know, you're a changed woman.
And
the man sees that and he says, you know what? I'm going to start going to these classes.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Because that's the thing. If you got an unbelieving wife or husband, you know, it's your job to deal with them. And if they don't come to it, they don't come to it. You know, but the bottom line is, you know, you can't just break up with them just, you know, because they don't believe.
Right.
And that's what they were doing. They were doing that because they wanted these guys women. You know?
That's why you don't bring your woman around. That's how you solve that problem. That's your woman. That's
exactly.
Like Prince did that song Private Joy. Yeah, that's your private joy. Right? Don't bring her around.
Right. You don't be bringing that brown sugar.
Right.
Sometimes that private joy can be a private hell.
Yeah. Yep.
It says, who